Hello, in this session we will talk about implementing one-to-many relationship. This is Hassan Mir from 0 to ProTraining.com. Okay, so now it's time to run another update statement, and this time we're gonna be issuing it without the where clause. But before that, I just want to create another table so that we have some scenario and we can use this table in our join sessions that we will be doing later on to study the joins. Okay, so right click on tables node, you can say new table, and let's say we want to also store information about teams. Let's say we are grouping students into different teams, and the table name would be team, because each table represents data about some entity. You can't just fit in the team information within the student table. Team entity will have its own attributes, name, description, or maybe some other attributes that we can add later on. So we have to keep teams data in a separate table, and let's keep type as column store schema. This is my schema, and column. Okay, ID, and I'm gonna use the same trend that I've been following. Varchar is the column type and maximum size is 3, and this is the key column. Okay, I'm gonna mark it as key column, which is automatically not null. You cannot insert a null value in a key column, and all the values has to be unique. This way it is guaranteed that all the records are unique. And for now I only want to store name attribute for the team. I just want to store names, that's it. And let's say 20, maximum size 20, and data type is varchar, maximum size 20. Table is not created yet. You have to issue the command, this green button. This will issue data to the database create statement. You could have written create statement directly as well, and this is the result at the top, successfully created. If I go back to the tables node and click on refresh, I should be able to see team table. So here you can see I have 4 tables now: course, student, student underscore course, and team. But there is no data in the team. Let's insert 2 records. Right click on team, and I would say generate insert statement. So let's say we have 2 teams and we want to group all the students into 2 teams. Okay, so here is the insert statement. You can see insert into table name fully qualified by the schema. So schema dot table name is the full qualification. So now system knows we're talking about this table in this schema, but you can write the table name directly as well, and it will be assumed that you are talking about your schema in which you are currently connected to. So now the first value, team ID 1, and team name team 1, and second row I want to insert is ID 2 and team 2. Let's issue this execute command in green color, and let's see the result in this bottom section. So both of these statements are executed successfully. If I right click on team and choose open content, I see 2 records. Okay, good. So we have information about teams, we have information about a student. If I right click on the student and open content, so we have information about the students, we have information about teams. But how do we tell the system which student belongs to which team? How did we tell the system which student is taking which course? We created a student underscore course table. If I right click on that table and choose open content, you can see in student underscore course table you have all the information on which student is taking which course. One student can take more than 1 courses, and 1 course could be taken by more than 1 student. So we created a separate table. Do we do the same thing here as well? The answer is no, because 1 student can belong to only 1 team. If your rules are different, business rules are different, where one student can belong to multiple teams, then definitely you have to create a many-to-many table. You may call it student underscore team. But in our case, one student can belong to one team, so we don't have to create a many-to-many table. This is one-to-many relationship. One student can belong to one team, but more than one students could belong to the same team as well. So it's many to one from student to team perspective, and one to many from team to student perspective. So how do we handle this? We can handle this by simply creating or adding an additional column in student table. If I right click on student and choose open definition, you can see we have 4 columns. So I can add a column here, and that will serve the purpose. You can only achieve this by adding a column in student table, and we can call it team ID. You can't add a column in team table and call it student ID. That will achieve you one-to-many relationship in a reverse order. Okay, so here I can right click and say edit, and now I have this plus button available, green plus team underscore ID, and here I'm going to store IDs of the team to which this student belong. So I've changed the maximum size to 3. I'm going to issue the execute command. In perfect world, you will have a foreign key here, but we are not talking about foreign keys. Foreign key guarantees that you only put those team ID here that are available in the team table. In team table we have 2 IDs, 001, 002. If I insert here 003, that won't make any sense because 003 team doesn't exist. So foreign key takes care of that. We'll talk about that later. I just run this command and the table has been altered. So if I go back to the window that is displaying me the data in student table, if I refresh this by clicking on this refresh button, I see team ID and there is no value in it. Question mark is indicating a null value. No value has been entered yet. And let's use the update statement to update this column. Okay, so here is a chance for us to run an update without a where clause. Let's say all the students have been placed in team 1. So how do you do that? I need an SQL editor. Right click on tables node and choose SQL editor. I think I closed my previous one. Here I can say update. My table name is student that I want to update. I can enter the table name in lowercase, but keep in mind I cannot use double quotes now because double quotes lowercase will be converted into lowercase. This is not the same thing as a student. Okay, so that's why just be careful and either just use do not use quotes at all, then everything will be converted into uppercase as far as table names and column names are concerned. I'm not talking about values. Okay, but if you want to use quotes, then just use like double quotes with everything and enter everything in uppercase. Okay, if you do anything other than these two, then you might have problems because if you're using quotes, then everything will be considered as case sensitive. So you can't just enter half of the table name in lowercase and half in the uppercase. So anyway, back to where we were. Update student set team ID equal to 001 in single quotes. If I run this command, then everybody will be put in team 1. If I go back to the window displaying student records, if I refresh this, see the update statement has affected all the records. So you have seen different usages of the update statement in this session: updating a value in a column, updating more than one value in different columns for one record, and hitting more than one record by one update statement by not including the where clause.